But said, he said, are you in a pop band? And I said, well, sometimes. Stuart would normally be with us now, apart from he's gone to the toilet as usual.
Stuart's lit. He's a cute one.
Well, people were coming out to watch us play live, which was great, because that's all we wanted to do. We just wanted to tour the UK. So we got out there after every show and met people and made friends. And it was amazing. It was also hard because we didn't really know how to deal with touring and life on the road. And we had to adjust to it very quickly. But I think we did, and I think we had an amazing time on those early tours.
Everybody says they're your friend, and
I think the early touring life in the band was some of the best times we probably ever had, because it was before in any way you were jaded about the business. It was before, well, I guess before you knew too much really, and you kind of took it for what it was. You'd spent the X amount of years of your life, and in our case quite a few, building up to this pivotal moment of actually being out and touring and playing in front of people and making new fans and friends. And it was yeah, I mean, it was brilliant. I remember we used to come off after shows, you know, with big beaming smiles and get on the tour bus, and yeah, it was a lot of fun back in those days. Broke the microwave. Well, as you can, end of the tour. When we start at 8:05, Northampton Road, Menders, in the dressing room alone. Yes, very tired, as you can see from these little bags in my eyes. We're the best friend ever get a wish for. We're the boyfriend ever girl deserves. Yeah, girl. We're the clothes kids can't afford to wear. We can't sing, but we got great teeth and hair. All the mental homes on Mars, populated by the stars. Took on the identity, provided by the company. We're the more than we're stuck, touch and taking on the world. Do what we're told, never grow up, sign our doors away.
That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. But the early days, and just being with the crowd and the fans and getting on TV and meeting famous people, and I had run-ins with girls that were really, really famous that sort of thought I was okay looking and that kind of thing. And but you know, you never know if people are using that to get ahead, and you just I mean, I like girls. Girls are nice to look at, and they've all got all nice things about them that are different from mine.
He's gonna crap himself if he does that. He had more. He's gonna get crap all over himself.
Oh, yes, it's not all that crap. Please don't tell me you have.
Tasty poo.
Yeah, but where did it come from? Was it out your bum?
We couldn't show you, yeah. We couldn't show me eating it. Because I'll go blind, won't I?
It came from the bum of a dog.
But where did it come from?
I don't know. I can't see nothing, man. I got voted 18th sexiest man in rock. Let that not be forgotten on this interview. 18th sexiest man in rock, in front of Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. That was pretty amazing. Amazing. And I was in the top 300 of guitarists of all time as well, in Guitar Technique magazine. Just put that in there.
That is absolute bollocks.
Josh, that's nice.
Is that...
Setting a fantastic present for the first day of the schools tour.
Yeah, that's what I'm wearing for the schools tour.
DumDums do drag.
Ladies.
Show me what you were doing earlier, Josh. What we were going to encourage little girls to do. Yeah, right.
I always say to people like that want to know what it's like to be in a band and have success in something, this is what our life was like. It was a mixture of Lost in Translation and Almost Famous and Spinal Tap. Those are the three. Completely. All of that stuff happened. Even we didn't have the moment where we were in the plane and Stuart admitted to everyone that he was gay. That didn't happen.
The dark skies looking ominous. Oh dear.
That's a plane coat to the boys.
Steve's praying hard.
Stu freaked out about going on the Oblivion, right? And now he's in this plane, and every time the camera goes off, he starts freaking out and screaming and going nuts. But he's being pretty brave, because he wouldn't go on the Oblivion, and this thing's going up and down like a nutcase, like a tinderbox. It's going up and down like a tinderbox. Well done, Bill.
Good landing, Bill.
It was quite apparent that we were kind of out there on our own, particularly in the kind of pop world that we'd kind of entered. There weren't a lot of bands around at the time which were straddling the pop and rock market. There were plenty of bands which were kind of doing the NME thing and being much more independent and kind of keeping well clear of that whole scene. But I think the scene we ended up kind of throwing ourselves into was predominantly dominated by dance music and sugar-coated pop, and I think it was that in itself was quite a difficult thing for us to kind of it made it quite difficult for us to find our own little place within that whole setting.
Now, one band that definitely want to lose the boy band tag today are, of course, the DumDums. They want to prove the critics wrong, and of course they're going to be performing in front of 100,000 people here today.
We need some more soon. This lady is going to carry on the track.
There's so many people out there.
This year at Party in the Park, we're really looking forward to seeing Bon Jovi, all of us.
Yes.
Yeah, big fans.
And Elton John.
Elton John.
I really want to see Elton John. See him do the Joanna thing, you know, pickety bing, bing.
Prolonging the torture.
Well, I definitely couldn't beatbox, and I don't really think Josh could rap. And Steve used to go out in this silver trout jacket with a bare hairy chest underneath and pull all these fantastic dance moves. And I just struggle to think of any other band that could go out there in front of 100,000 people and do the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air rap and think it was actually quite normal.
to be a type of band that we are and play on that bill is excellent. And then when we found out who's playing this year, you know, people like Elton John and Bon Jovi and stuff like that, it was like, okay.
Thank you very much for having us. Come and see us live, yeah, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
We did this really, really early interview right when we started out playing our tiny little shows, just to a handful of people. And this interview, my whole thing was like, he was like, "What do you want to do with the band?" I'm like, "Well, I want to get into the minds of all these kids that are into boy bands, because it was all boy bands at that time. It was all pop. I'm gonna get into the mind of all these kids, boy bands, and turn them back towards rock music." That was one of our objectives, and the other objective was to play Wembley Stadium.
Well, once upon a time, 2.5 years ago, the DumDums played their first gig at the Red Eye in Islington. I think it was the end of October '97. And now 2.5 years later, we're going to play Wembley Stadium, so today's kind of a special day for us. We're just on our way to V2000 now. We're going to be there in about 15-20 minutes. And we got a 40-minute set there, and then we jump in a fast car going straight to Wembley, so...
Well, I loved V2000. That was a real we've arrived moment, you know, because we played in front of all those people, and then we were getting in a car and rushing straight to Wembley Stadium to play in front of another 70,000 people, which was incredible. And the whole day, you know, we were mixing and surrounded by all these bands that we'd grown up listening to and really admired. So, yeah, that was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, we have played other festivals in Britain.
The first day was, there's two V2000s. The first one's like down south of England, and the second one's up north. The first one was good, but really rushed because we were playing at Wembley Stadium with Bon Jovi in the evening.
On the same day.
So that was kind of do a gig off the stage into a car and then to London again. So.
I can't sing tonight, man. My voice is gone. I can't get any good out.
Just like I just read. Can't have a week. It was a good gig. Sounded great out the front. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm bad.
Yeah, man, just stop, man.
We've only got half an hour set. How'd that go?
It's exhausting.
Where next, Josh?
Huh?
Where next?
I don't know, man.
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi next? I'm about to faint, man.
I'm tired. I don't want to do a gig. I want to go to bed.
I think we always had this kind of motto, kind of a bit of an unspoken motto as a band that, you know, that being nervous before a show wasn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, I think we kind of thrived on that nervous anticipation of what was about to happen, And obviously with bigger shows, that nervous kind of energy increases all the more.
Wembley Stadium, it's Wembley Stadium. You're at Wembley Stadium. Instead of being the one in the crowd, you're the one performing to the entire audience. The funny thing about that gig in particular, I mean, like, we did bigger shows, like Party in the Park, which is Hyde Park, which was just a sea of people, as far as you can see. It's ridiculous. But the Wembley one, it was an enclosed space, so you can see right to the back of the crowd. And every time you finish your song, there's just quiet. After everyone's clapped or cheered or whatever, there's just quiet.
Wicked, man, but most ever. Every chill really freaks me out, you know that? It's so
many Hello, Wembley. It's like, yeah, yeah. Are you looking forward to seeing Bon Jovi? Yeah, and just everything goes quiet, and there's so much pressure. I usually like to be somewhat prepared, like I have some notes written next to my songs, like of maybe something I can try and remember to talk about if I need something to talk about. But that one, that was ridiculous. It was a lot of fun. It was just overwhelming.